Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so today's lesson, so let's just recap what we've done so far. So if I zoom in, you can see that this table that I drew. Try and use this as your template. So Abu Zayd al-Qadi Kitabi 233 Fir'aun Muslimi. Okay, so Abu in the Rafa state is with the waw, nasb state with an alif. Done that so far. Zayd in the Rafa state, it's like that, with Dhamma, then with Fatha, etc. Okay, and we did the Rafa. So we said Rafa, there's 3 or 4 signs of Rafa: Dhamma, Waw, Alif, and Noon. Dhamma is an Ism Mufrad, Jamu Kasr, Jamu Salim, and Fi'l Mudari. Okay, and then I gave examples for that. Waw is in those 2 states, Asma Khamsa, the Abu, Aba, Abi, etc. Jamu Dhakr Salim with the Waw. Okay, so we said Muslimuna. Alif is dual, Kitabani. Even though there's a Noon there, they just say Alif. And Noon is in the 5 fi'ls. Okay, and then we did Nasab last week. So we said Nasab is with Fatha, and that's in 3 words. Ism Mufrad, Jamu Kasr, Mudari, Ya'kula. With the Alif, Asma Khamsa. Kasra, Jamu Salim only. Ya is 2, dual, Jamu Dhakr Salim. So Qara'tul Kitabaini, Ra'aytul Muslimina. And the removal of Noon in those 5 verbs. Okay, so you can catch up on those videos and inshallah try and understand them there. So anyway, let's get back to this then. So next is jar now. So jar, this is what he calls khafad. I call it jar. I'm so used to calling it jar. I'm just, old, yeah. So I can't change my ways. I'm an old grumpy man. So khafad, he calls it khafd. So khafad, right, or jar, whatever one you want to call it. There's 3 signs that he mentions for this. So we draw these 3 then. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so there's 3 signs for it. Kasra is number 1. Number 2 is ya, and number 3 is fatha. Okay, so kasra, ya, and fatha. Okay, so let's choose a color. Let's do green. Suppose green is suitable color. So kasra. So kasra, basically what this means is that when a word is majroor, or when a word is jar, then either it's going to have a kasra on there, either it's going to be represented with a ya, or either it's going to have a fatha. The kasra is in 3 words. Yeah, number 1, Ism Mufrad. So I explained Ism Mufrad last week. Okay, so an Ism Mufrad. For instance, if I said something like this, if I said Marartu, I passed by, I passed by Zayd. Okay, so in this case, Zayd is the word that is Ism Mufrad here, and notice kasra. Yeah, so kasra, there you go. It's actually, this is Zayd, not the ba, so before anyone gets confused, just the word Zayd there. Okay, so bi Zaydin, notice it's got kasra. It's a mufrad. Okay, number 2 is Jama Mukassar, or like he calls it Jama Taksir. Alright, so Jama Mukassar, again, Marartu, I passed by Ar-Rijal. Okay, so again, Marartu bir-Rijali. So again, the word Rijal here is the majroor. Makhfud is the word, and it's symbolized with a kasra. So you have kasra. Marartu bir-rijali. Okay, and number 3. Should I do that? Put over here. So the third is Jama Muannath Salim. Okay, Jama Muannath Salim. Okay, so we know about Jama Muannath Salim. I mentioned that to you guys last lesson and the week before. So here, Jama Muannath Salim, if I say Marartu, I went, I passed by bi al-muslimati. So I passed by the Muslim women. So again, this has a kasra representing the khafad. I passed bi al-muslimat, the Muslim women. So in these 3 examples, you can see that kasra is being used here to show that these words are majroor. Yeah, majroor or makhfooz. Okay, in the state of jar. Now, normally in texts, you're not going to have these vowels. So this is why you need to be able to recognize these. If there was no, let's say, so there's no kasra there. There was no kasra there. There was no kasra there. And you saw this word, you'd be thinking, what vowel should I put on Zaid? Right, so you think, so you gotta look up before it. You see a ba, harf jar. Yeah, you see that, and then you figure it out. Now, you haven't learned that yet, right? That's something you're going to learn later on. So don't worry about that. Don't think, oh, why don't I understand this? Don't worry about that. So at the moment, all you're learning is the symbols, that's all. Later on, you're going to learn why it takes kasra. What's the reason for it? Okay, that's something you learn later on. But now, all you need to know is identify. Identify, okay, how would I identify with the vowels? And that's how you identify it. Okay, next. Let's move on to ya. Okay, so actually use my colors, haven't I? Okay, let's choose another color here then. Okay, let's use light blue. Okay, so ya. Now ya, this is represented by 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, number 1, the asma khamsa. Asma khamsa, the 5 words. Okay, so the 5 words, Abu, Akhu, they're going to come as well later on, inshallah. So if I say marartu, I passed by bi, and then I say abihi, I passed by his father. Okay, so there you have his father. Again, that's the word there that you want to focus on. Yeah, abihi. Marartu bi abihi, passed by his father. So his father here is basically that word which is majroor. And notice it's symbolized with a ya, he. Yeah, and remember we said before that this word abi can be aba in the nasb state and abu in the rafa state. Okay, so abu, aba, abi, these are the different states of the word. So that's represented by ya. Yep, makes sense. Okay. Right, so next. So I think I'm joined this a bit too close together. Let me just give a bit of space there. Okay, so next one. So the next is we have dual. Okay, so times 2, dual, duals. Okay, so with the duals, again, like with the nasab, exactly the same. So if you remember over here, we did dual, qara'tu kitabin, exactly the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same as that. So we're going to do the exact same example again. So if I say marartu, I'm all doing marartus. I passed بكتابين. So مررت بكتابين. So كتابين here. Okay, this word كتابين, this is with the ya over here. Okay, so you can see there's the ya. I hope you can see that with the ya there. Okay, so back to this. Right, so I said dual marartu bi kitabaini. So notice the kitabaini here has the ya there. Okay, so that ya is basically similar to the nasb one, and so this is a sign of khafad jar. Okay, so that's that. And also with this, you also have a jama mudhakkar salim. Okay, so jama mudhakkar salim. Okay, we've done that before as well, exactly the same as nasab. So if you look over here, we're going to use the exact same example. So it's like these two are identical. Nasab and jar of the dual and the jama mudhakkar salim are exactly the same. Okay, so I'm going to do exactly the same example here. Ra'aytu al-muslimina, right over here as well. So Ra'aytu al-muslimina. Okay, so that's muslimina. Actually no. Why am I saying that for? Yeah, so see, this is what happens when too much Facebook messes you up. So example is marartu. I passed by al-muslimina. So al-muslimina, this is the khafad word, and notice it has the yade. So yade, yade, yade. Yeah, so all of these are in the form of ya. Khafad in the form of ya. Okay, finally, fatha. Right, there's only one for this. Right, there's only one for this, and we're going to do it in this color. And that is the ghayr munsarif. So ghayr munsarif is a type of word, and in the table I've represented it with Fir'aun. Yeah, Fir'aun over here, if you can see, there it is. So Fir'aun. Okay, so Fir'aun, this is a bit of a strange word, and inshallah when it comes in the book you learn more about it. So Fir'aun actually only takes a single fatha. Yeah, so if I say marartu bi Fir'aun, yeah, so marartu bi Fir'aun, you would say marartu bi Fir'auna. So that's the khafad word, makhfud word. It's Fir'auna, a single. It takes a single fatha. Single fatha. Okay, single fatha. So this is actually strange because this actually also takes a single fatha. You know, he should have really mentioned it in there as well, under fatha, but that was double fatha there. So here is possibly indicating that, you know what, in the ghayr munsarif words, you don't give them kasras, you give it single fatha. So inshallah, when it comes in the topic of ghayr munsarif, it's a whole topic in itself. It's a certain type of word. They take single fatha. And these are words like in the table, if you look at the table. Fir'aun, this is represented by ghayr munsarif. Okay, these are ghayr munsarif. In the rafa state, you give it a single dhamma, and in the nasab and the jar state, you give it a single fatha. Okay, so that's that. And like I said, I mean, in the rafa state, he hasn't even mentioned this word. Whereas, you know, other books would say in the rafa state, it takes single dhamma. In the nasab state, it takes single fatha. In the jar state, it takes a single fatha. Right? But he hasn't mentioned it. So, Allahu A'lam, inshallah, on the day of judgment, yeah, we can go up to him and we can ask him how come he hasn't mentioned it, and he'll give us an answer, inshallah. Right, so that's basically all of jar, khafad. So khafad is represented by kasra, Yeah, actually I'll do it in a this is represented by kasra, represented by ya, and represented by fatha. Okay, so these are the three forms that khafad appears in. Yeah, it won't appear in anything else. Okay, finally the last one. This is the one we're going to finish on today, inshallah. And then we'll go to the Quran and we'll look at the text. So jazm. So jazm, I'm going to do this in black. Jazm appears in two ways. Either it appears with a sukoon. Yeah, sukoon is this basically. Yeah, that symbol there. Let's say you have a letter ba on top of the letter. That's a sukoon. Or sometimes you see like this, a crescent sukoon. Yeah, that's a sukoon. Sukoon basically means the absence of a vowel. Absence of a vowel. Okay, so sometimes it appears as sukoon, and sometimes number two, it appears as removal. Removal of letter. An entire letter is removed. You move an entire letter. You get rid of it, delete it. Yeah, in Arabic you call this hadaf. Hadaf. So jazm is sometimes you probably learned when you were young, oh, this symbol is called jazm. No, that's wrong there. It's not called jazm in Arabic. In Arabic it's called sukoon. Jazm is a concept. Yeah, so when does this work? So okay, sukoon works on fi'l mudari', all present verbs that are what we call saheeh. Yeah, saheeh does not mean like hadith sahih, sahih Bukhari, not that. Saheeh is a type of fi'l. Yeah, it's a type of fi'l that does not consist of huruf illa. Yeah, no, I call these wine letters. No wine letters. Yeah, why they call it wine? Waw, alif, ya, and noon. Yeah, so a word that does not end with waw, alif, ya, noon is called a saheeh word. This is a saheeh word. Right, so for example, like yadribu. Yeah, so no wine letter. Or for example, yasma'u. Yasma'u, no wine letter. So what happens here? So in this case, we give it sukoon. So you replace it with sukoon. Replace it with sukoon. So what if there is a wine letter? So if there's a wine letter, waw, alif, ya, noon, then you removal of the letter. Hazaf. You do hazaf. So for example, like let's say you had the word yajri. So if you want to do jazm to that, you've got to get rid of the ya. Ya goes yajri. You're left with yajri. Yeah, so yajri. And let's say you had the verb ya'lamuna. Ya'lamuna. So at the end it's got a noon. So we're going to get rid of this noon. This noon. Yeah. Yeah, the technical, if you want the technical term for saheeh, it's the one that doesn't have a weak letter. And I've just summed it up in this easy way to remember. Wine. Yeah. So if a letter does not end with a waw, alif, ya, noon, then you call it a saheeh word. Yeah, saheeh word, that is basically. Okay, so I mean, I'll show you like a waw. If you had the word yatafu, tafa yatfu. Okay, there's a waw there, notice. Or alif, for example, yas'a. There's an alif there. Yajri. There's a ya there. And the noon is like ya'lamuna. There's a noon there. Yeah, I call these the wine letters. And you can call them whatever letters you like. But yes, these are also known as the weak letters. Waw, alif, ya, noon. Waw, alif, ya is called weak letters. They're called weak, yeah, because one, they fall off easily. And illa is called sickness as well. These are the sick letters, because this is the noise that you make when you're sick. Why? Okay, so jazm, that's basically how jazm is done. So there you have it. Yeah, so all the i'rabs that you need to know, have it all there. Nice diagram. They're all colorful. Yeah, rafa state, nasab state, jar state or khafad, and jazm. Okay, and then all of these examples. So if you kind of go over this, if you memorize this, take a picture of it, yeah, then inshallah you'll be able to understand. Hopefully keep it with you. Look at the Quran. As you go through the verses of the Quran, slowly you'll start to understand more and more as you apply it. And I don't know if you guys are applying it, but you should be applying it. So let's look at the Quran there. Let's go down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start from one place and we're going to just start applying. So let's start from, let's say, surah. It's from surah let's start from surah kahf. So surah kahf, if you go to surah kahf, or you can follow the screen. Yep. Okay, so alhamdu. Right, so first of all, we're going to say, right, this is alhamdu, it has a dhamma, this dhamma, right, where's dhamma? It's a rafa, so therefore it's a rafa state. Lillahi, it has a kasra, and in this list, which words take kasra? So if we have a look, we can see the nasb has a kasra, yeah, but that's only in Jama Mu'annath Salim. So is this word Jama Mu'annath Salim? No, okay, it's not that. Kasra is in the jar state, yeah, okay, kasra. Is it ism mufrad? Yes, it's ism mufrad. That's it. There we have it. Ism mufrad. Okay, alladhi. Now, alladhi, this is a word which I haven't told you about so far. This is called a mabni word. It doesn't follow any of these rules. It's a fixed word, never ever changes, and it's like that. So it's always going to stay like this. It's called mabni. Anzala, it's a verb, so past verbs, it doesn't apply. These rules do not apply to past verbs. Ala abdihi. So on the dal here, it has a kasra. Why does it have a kasra? Again, ism mufrad. Al-kitaba, it has fatha. Okay, fatha applies in nasab and also applies in jar. So it can't be, it's not ghayr munsarif, because don't worry about it. You guys don't know it yet, but trust me, believe in it. It's not ghayr munsarif. So it's fatha. Why is it got fatha for? It's a ism mufrad. Okay, lam yaj'al. This lam is supposed to have a sukoon on there. Yeah, but tajweed rule, they've joined the lam with the lam. But imagine it's got a sukoon. So why do we give words sukoons? Jazm. Yeah, so it's a fi'l mudari. It's a saheeh word. Yeah, not a da'if word. Yeah, it's a saheeh word. So lam yaj'al. So that lam has given it the sukoon, jazm. Lahu. So again, this word hu here, we're not going to deal with that. This is again another mabni word. It's a fixed word. Iwaja. So iwaja has a fatha. Why do words have fathas for? Okay, so it's either ghayr munsarif or it's nasab. So it's nasab. Ism mufrad. Okay, qayyiman, again, nasab. This is ism mufrad as well. Okay, liyundhira. So yundhira is a fi'l and it's got fatha. So go here, mudari an ya'kula. So fatha, nasab, mudari. Okay, ba'san, ism mufrad, fatha. Shadidan, ism mufrad, fatha. Min ladunhu. So ladun, ignore this. This is a mabni word. Wa yubashira. So yubashira, again, this is a fatha. It's a fi'l. Al-mu'minina. So al-mu'minina. So it's got a ya. So okay, which words have ya as a symbol? So ya is a nasab, ya is jar. So here it's is it? Yes, jama mudhakkar salim. So this is jama mudhakkar salim. Yubashir al-mu'minina. It's in the nasab state. Alladhina, this is a mabni word. Ya'lamuna. Okay, ya'lamuna has a waw there and a noon. Okay, so which verbs are there where the noon stays? So that's a rafa state. The noon remaining is in the rafa state. Okay, next, as-salihati. So as-salihati has a kasra, and the word salihat is a jama mu'annath salim. Okay, so jama mu'annath salim, the kasra. Okay, so this can either be nasab kasra, or it can either be jar. And in this state we know that it's nasab because of the positioning of the word. Anna lahum, we're not going to look at that, we're going to ignore that. Mabni. Ajran, this is ism mufrad, nasab. Hasanan, ism mufrad, nasab. Makithina, jama mudhakkar salim. Okay, so this can either be jar or it can be nasab. In this case it's nasab. Fihi, we're going to ignore that. Abadan, so abadan is nasab, ism mufrad. Yundhira, this has got a fatha, so this is nasab fi'l with a fatha. Okay, this one over here, nasab. Qalu, so past verbs, we don't deal with them. Ittakhadha, past verb, we don't deal with them. Allahu, who is a dhamma, single, ism mufrad. Waladan, ism mufrad, and etc. So we've done for 4 lines or so. So you guys can have a go, try, keep going through it, and inshallah you'll see, you'll understand it much better, inshallah. Okay, so let's look at this then. Right, so فَأَمَّا الْكَسْرَةُ, so he says, as for kasra, فَتَكُونُ alamatan, this word kasra is a sign, للخفض, for jar, خفض, في ثلاثة مواضع, in 3 places. في الاسم المفرد المنصرف. Now you see he's used the word منصرف here. This is to show the difference between غير منصرف and منصرف. And when we do that, inshallah, I'll mention it. So اسم مفرد, just know it as اسم مفرد for now. وجمع, and جمع التكسير المنصرف. Yeah, and he said منصرف because you can get a جمع تكسير غير منصرف. وفي الجمع المؤنث سالم, and in جمع سالم like I mentioned. So he's talking about 1, 2, 3. All these 3 apply to that. وأما الياء, as for ya, so we said there's 3 for ya. في ثلاثة مواضع, علامة, تكون علامة, it's a sign in 3 places. خف في 3 مواضع, في أسماء الخمسة, in the 5 words. وفي التثنية, and in dual, like over here, مررت بكتابين. والجمع, and in جمع, مررت بالمسلمين. وأما الفتحة فتكون علامة للخفض, is علامة الخفض في الاسم الذي لا ينصرف, so غير منصرف, the word which does not change vowels. So لا ينصرف means doesn't change vowels fully. والجزم علامة, jazm is a sign, has 2 signs. السكون, like over here we said, and حذف, removal of a letter. أما السكون, as for سكون, فيكون علامة, this is a sign, علامة للجزم. So سكون is علامة of jazm. Where? في الفعل المضارع, in the present verb, الصحيح الآخر, at the end, which is صحيح, i.e. which does not have a wine letter at the end. وأما الحذف, as for removal of a letter, فيكون علامة, this is a sign, للجزم, for jazm, في الفعل المضارع, in a فعل المضارع, المؤتل الآخر. المؤتل الآخر basically means a verb which has waw, alif, ya. So waw, alif, ya, these 3 are called the mu'tals. Mu'tal means ill, yeah, bimar, ill, not well, yeah, because wine letter, they wine. وفي الأفعال الخمسة التي رفعها بثبات النون, and the noon, and those fi'l mudaris, or those 5 verbs, we mentioned over here, يكتب, يكتبون, تكتبون, يكتبان, تكتبان, يكتبان, yeah, those ones. So التي رفعها بثبات النون, so by removal of that, and I made it easy and I've just said the wine letters. So alhamdulillah, we've completed all of that, so you can go through inshallah, and next week inshallah we'll be doing mu'rabat, yeah, in more detail, talking about them. So let me just apply some of this what we've done today. So أما الكسرة, kasratu has a dhamma on there, and that dhamma is a mufrad. Takunu is a fi'l with a dhamma, yeah, so this is fi'l mudari. علامة اسم مفرد للخفض, this is اسم مفرد كسرة. في ثلاثة اسم مفرد. مواضع, okay, مواضع, this is actually غير منصرف, yeah, this is غير منصرف, مواضع. في الاسم, so اسم is كسرة, اسم مفرد, المفرد اسم مفرد منصرف, اسم مفرد جمع, اسم مفرد تكسير, اسم مفرد منصرف, اسم مفرد كسرة, اسم مفرد, اسم مفرد, اسم مفرد. Maliya'u, yeah, you can go through all of that and you can figure it out inshallah. So I hope that makes sense. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.